Hi there, my name's Amy Ash, and in this EFT tap along, which is what I like to call them, because you're just going to tap along with me, we're going to focus on guilt and shame around food, diets, and body image. So we're just going to throw it all in here and have a really great session. So all you have to do is follow along. Now, before we get started, I just want to say that if for any reason you don't feel safe in tapping on guilt and shame or anything that comes up, then just stop and make sure that you get some help. You can contact me or reach out to somebody else who can support you. But only do this if you're safe, take responsibility for yourself, and if you're ready, let's just get into it. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to have you do now is just close your eyes down and take a nice deep breath in. And just check in on any guilty or shameful feelings that you have around food, diets, and body image. And give it a rating on the scale from 0 to 10. 0 being there's no feelings at all, and 10 being it's really intense, like the most intense that you can imagine. And just take a note of what that is for you on the scale before we get started here. Okay. So now we're just going to tap along. If you have glasses, you might want to take them off if you can. You can usually tap around them if you need to. Okay, so tapping on the side of the hand, just repeat after me. Even though I have all this guilt and shame around my body, I love and accept myself. Even though I have all this guilt and shame around my eating habits, I love and accept myself. Even though I have all this guilt and shame around so much in my life, I love and accept myself as I am. All this guilt and shame around my body. I feel so ashamed of my body. I feel guilty about my body. It's safe to acknowledge these feelings. It's safe to feel these emotions. I've felt guilty and ashamed for so long. I feel guilty for not having a different body. I've tried so hard to change it, but I have failed. And I feel ashamed for failing. I'm disappointed in my body. I feel embarrassed about my body. I wish my body were different. But it's not, and I feel ashamed. I've tried so many things. So many diets and eating programs. And I failed at all of them. I feel so guilty for failing. What's wrong with me? Why can't I be thinner? Why can't I be healthier? I've been struggling for a long time. And it takes up so much of my energy. I'm always focused on what to eat or what not to eat. And I'm exhausted from all this guilt and shame. I'm so unhappy with my body. I feel so disappointed in myself. I feel flawed and unattractive. I've called my body many bad names. Fat, flabby, unappealing, disgusting, chubby. So disappointed in my body. And I've tried so many things to change it. But I've failed and I feel ashamed. I want to love my body, but it's so hard. I've tried to use food to feel better. I've tried to use food to get rid of this guilt and shame. But I always end up feeling more guilt and shame. None of this works. The diets don't work. The hating my body doesn't work. Trying to live up to unrealistic expectations doesn't work. I feel angry and frustrated. None of this stuff works. What if what works is loving myself? What if it's really about loving my body as I am? It feels so hard to love myself. I'm not used to loving my body. I'm not even used to really loving myself. But what if I could let go of all this guilt? What if I could let go of all this shame? What if I could let go of all these rules around food? What if I could let go of all these unrealistic expectations? What if I could love my body as it is? Maybe I would feel better. It would feel good to let go of all the pressure. To let go of all the guilt and shameful feelings. What if I put all my energy into loving myself fully? I'm afraid to love myself fully. I'm afraid to love my body as it is. I still want it to be different. I'm still fighting my body. But the fighting isn't working. So what if it's okay to accept my body? What if it's safe to love my body? It is safe to love my body. I'm ready to stop all this foolishness. Even if I never have the body I want, I love and accept myself. Even if my body never changes, I love and accept myself. I'm ready to work with my body rather than against it. I'm ready to love my body. I choose to love my body. I choose to love myself. I deserve to feel good. Okay, take a nice deep breath in. Just check in with yourself. If you're feeling emotional, I would recommend rewinding this and restart the video and watch it again and tap along, because the more that you tap, the more that it helps, and it can help calm you down and help you to process any emotions that came up. And if you're feeling pretty calm, just check in with yourself and close your eyes and check in with those guilty, shameful feelings and just notice if they've shifted on that scale from 0 to 10. And wherever you are, again, what you can do is if you still have a 4 or higher on the scale, just keep tapping. The other thing is if anything came up for you, anything that I said throughout this entire tap along, if it kind of, stung for you and it bothered you and it stood out, that's an indicator that you've got some juice in there, you've got some emotion around it. So if there's one specific thing or a few things that I said, go ahead and use the EFT process and tap on that specific idea. That's how you take EFT and gear it towards yourself and get really great results. So here we're trying to do it in a group format and we're covering a lot of different things, but some of this stuff may apply to you and some of it may not. So again, whatever did apply to you, that's your indicator that you really want to focus in and do more tapping on that. So I hope that you've enjoyed this, and thanks so much.